Stan Gibilisco here, coming at you from the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of Athletics, on the third planet in orbit about that star in this galaxy, where, in October of 1991, there took place one of the most fascinating World Series games ever, and arguably one of the best baseball games ever played, the 1991 World Series. You can look it up in Wikipedia and read a game-by-game description of what happened between the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves. The first two games played in the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis, the second three games in Atlanta, and the final two games in Minneapolis once again. But it's Game 7 that I'd like to just briefly mention, and the pitcher who won that game, the winning pitcher, Jack Morris. Here's what he looks like today. Back then, he regarded his performance with the Twins as a job that he had to get done. People referred to him as a workhorse, or sometimes simply a horse. But in Game 7, I remember distinctly the announcer calling him in the 10th inning a war horse. Here's what Jack Morris looks like today. It is Arturo Pardavilla who took this photograph. He looks like he's 2 years younger than I am. I can scarcely believe that. But he'd like to be recognized, this Arturo Pardavilla photograph, so you can look him up on Wikipedia or Google him and find out all about his work. But here is the photograph of Jack Morris today. What I remember about that World Series more than anything else was that there were no runs scored until the bottom of the 10th inning. Jack Morris had to keep arguing with manager Tom Kelly to keep him in the game and let him finish. And it was in the 10th inning that the announcer called this man, Jack Morris, a war horse. He did his job, and he did it well. And the Twins won that game on a single in the 10th inning, and that was the only run scored in the whole game. Both pitchers did a tremendous job. I just love pitchers' duels like that. I love that kind of game, and of course I love all the other things that most people like, home runs, etc., etc., etc. But when a game is a duel between two of the best pitchers in the league, one of whom simply regarded his work as something that had to be done, and by golly, he done it. And I remember watching from a motel in Miami, Florida, as I was moving back in October of 1991 to South Beach, Miami, where I spent the next 5 years being a completely, absolutely clean and sober beach bum. And I wrote at that time, at the same time as being a beach bum, the book that's done the best of all of my books, Teach Yourself Electricity and Electronics. I wrote that book the same time as I was a beach bum after watching this game that I can remember to this day, which took place on the third planet in orbit around that star in this galaxy, in an unnamed cluster of galaxies. Well, they call it the local group, in an unknown universe where things like that, on specks of dust like that, actually matter. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until the next great Minnesota Twins World Series victory, So long.